Hi, my name is Thomas O'Neill, and we'll be discussing the Voynich manuscript, specifically folio 68V3, regarding a star chart and another discovery I made today while analyzing it with my cipher. The IAU formed in 1919, and Wilfred Voynich still had the MS-408 in his possession. What he incorporated into this folio was M31, the Andromeda galaxy. And how I discovered that was on the far western side was EVA Otol, and in the middle is Pi, and it's IPIC. I cannot pronounce it any other way, IPIC, but I, Pi in the middle, and C. So I determined that I is a Roman numeral and C on the end is a Roman numeral. And what you get is 1 times pi times 100, thus making the radius 50. Look at the center of the circle. There looks like a semicircle. Formula circumference equals 2 pi r. So on folio 68V3, you see a semicircle with what looks like marked off radius. And so I got to thinking, if this is pi and it's a radius, and I searched and I decided to go back to my supernova theory of April 30th because he seems to be focusing a lot on his puzzles with April 30th of 1006, Wilfred Voynich, Michael Voynich, who I discovered his initials within MS408. He has his WW initials and the MV initials. MV for 1005, as a lady in folio 66R is, or actually a man, holding his umbilicus in Latin as the central point of the whole manuscript. I don't know if he's the central point, but he wrote it, so I guess he's saying he is, but it's also an indication for MVIO, indicating October, which is his birthday, and 1006 for the supernova of 1006. So anyway, this is dated April 30th, 1006, the inception of the supernova, the most illuminated, largest supernova we've ever had, which is incorporated into the 11th century, obfuscating the with a code that he wrote, and I discovered his cipher. It's just a simple monoballistic, simple substitution cipher of the Voynich glyphs, which I use EVA to translate into Latin, which, for the most part, there are very rare Latin words within the substitution cipher, which I call an off tongue of there's some structure to it. I admit the prefixes and suffixes, which he built into it, but it is low entropy, which repeats a lot. And so it's like a glossolita, but it has some structure, yet it the language repeats, indicating low entropy. And I discovered low entropy within the manuscript of the tongue language, which it almost sounds like reptilian because there's a lot of hiss to it, like a snake. Um, there is a dragon there's a snake in the dragon, and there's a lizard there are some reptiles in the MS408. So going back to this M31, the Andromeda galaxy, if you can see it on this folio to the right, I have the picture of the stellarium from the Webb of 1006, April 30th. At the far north top picture, there's M31 with it. Says Andromeda. And EVA ocheol decodes to IAU IC. So you can see my cipher is working here. I A IAU is the International Astronomical Astronomical Union. My throat's drying up. Astronomical Union, and the IC is for 1 in 100, and so and 50 is the radius, so that's the halfway mark of the diameter. And if you notice that M31 is on the outer edge of the circumference of the circle for the radius. And I found a picture from Rich Santa Coloma of the Andromeda galaxy. And you notice that folio 68 V3 looks like the Andromeda galaxy. So I just built this. I'm going to upload it to my website. So EVA ocheol decodes to IAU I C. That's in yellow above, which indicates 1/2 100 equals radius of 50. IAU is an International Astronomical Union. I equals 1, C equals 100. Wilfred used parchment from the 15th century and used a cipher to point to the 11th century. There are rare Latin words, but most of the, if you use the cipher, most of what you'll find, besides quartoro, octo, novum, and some other rare Latin words, you'll find. Here we can go in here, and I'll show you just as proof. Go in here. Here's the stellarium. Then we go into the ocheol, which decodes to IAUIC, and then here is otol, which is, this is IPIC. If you go into my, this represents, by the way, this is supposed to represent Messer 31, M31. And this is how I figured out M31. And notice the I and the C. Thank you very much.